After the tiny and affordable RF 51.8, it is time to review its exact opposite. RF 51.2L is a beast of a lens in every way. It weighs a full kilo, retails at around 2,500 euros in Europe or slightly less in United States, and has optical performance that will make you drool like a teenager on Shakira concert. Let's take a closer look what this lens is capable of. Build quality is pretty much perfect. It is plastic outside, but don't let that fool you. Chassis and lens mount are made from metal, and the lens is properly weather sealed. Front element accepts 77mm filters. There are two dials on the lens. The smaller one is customizable control dial and the larger one manual focus ring. This lens uses focus by wire system, what means there is no mechanical link for manual focus, but uses motor drive all along. On the side there are focus mode and focus limiter switches. Front element moves when focusing, but does not extend outside the lens barrel and does not rotate. Lens hood is part of the retail package and it is huge as well. It can be reversed for transport. Center resolution is impressive wide open at f1.2. A bit more can be extracted already at 1.4, but beyond that it is hard to notice any difference. Corners are also very good wide open, but become even better at around f2 and beyond when vignetting goes away as well. In real life use I didn't think twice before using it wide open. I talked about this in my EOS R5 review, but I need to point it once more. This lens combined with the R5 offers practically perfect focus accuracy, even in low light at 1.2 aperture value. It is magnificent how well it focuses, and once you get the hang on which focus point pattern works best for your subjects, you will be glad DSLR era is behind you. For all the samples you see right now, I had to take only one shot. The camera nailed it from the first try. Old EF version of this lens was notorious for strong focus shift, and it is good to see this one is way better. It can still be noticed at f2 and 2.8, but it is really small amount, which I never noticed in real life images. You can basically ignore this even on 45 megapixel R5, on which I did this review. Focus breathing is quite pronounced, and this is probably the only downside of this lens. Lateral chromatic aberrations are really low, borderline non-existent. Some longitudinal aberrations can be observed at 1.2 and 1.4. By f2 they are mostly gone and I can't notice any at 2.8. Excellent. Geometry is perfect. Coma is visible wide open in corners, but diminishes quickly with smaller apertures. Already at f2 it is really good and basically disappears by 2.8. Some vignetting is present, but even wide open not a big issue. It is very low already at f2 and practically disappears by 2.8. It is easily corrected in post. As you can see from these real-life shots, vignetting effect will vary greatly depending on the subject, but is never a big issue. With a bright light source in the frame there will be some flaring. After all, there are 15 elements inside this lens. Still, it is not bad, and for any light source just outside the frame can be eliminated with that giant lens hood. Bokeh is nice and soft, and thanks to 1.2 aperture it is easy to get subject separation. If you really push it with lots of sharp objects in the frame like branches, some mildly sharp bokeh shapes can pop up, but usually it is just creamy oblivion all around. With 0.4 meters close focus and only 0.19 times magnification, this lens is not exactly a good choice for close-ups. But pair it with high-resolution R5 and some serious crop can be obtained. Sunstar is downright spectacular. An even number of shutter blades, 10 of them, produce 10 point in Sunstar, which is perfectly defined, thin and long. This lens is a joy to use for night landscapes. So, only realistic downside of this lens is focus breathing. Movie enthusiasts will not like this, but for still images, RF 51.2 is hard to beat. It is practically perfect in all optical performance aspects, but at this price point it better be. Still, even if you ignore the price, you'll have to carry this beast around. At 1 kg it is not exactly walk-around lens and will draw attention everywhere you go. If you want stealth, get the 1.8 version, which is 200 grams and only $200. It is perfectly fine lens on its own, but this L version is on another level altogether. That's all for this review. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. For those of you in Croatia, you can find me and try this lens in real life in Anigota store where I work, and those of you from other countries, please use Amazon affiliate links as I get a small commission from every purchase. Thanks for watching.